We have some spicy Pokemon news this morning because the Pokemon Company earnings have been leaked. And we can see that the Pokemon Company has made a lot of money in its 25 years. And that is what we're going to be talking about for today's video. So if you enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and share this video with your friends. Now, this earnings leak is not for the last year. This is the entirety of the Pokemon Company, and we can see that we had a rough idea going back a few years. So this is the Wikipedia article for the list of highest grossing media franchises. We've talked about this because not too long ago, the Pokemon Company became the highest grossing franchise ever. However, as of May 2019, the Pokemon Company stopped talking about how much money they earned on the website, so this figure kind of got halted. So it looks like the Pokemon Company has earned a quarter of its total revenue in the last 2 years. That's insane. I can't figure out how the Pokemon Company found $25 billion like that. Maybe there's some off-reporting, maybe it was like the last 2.5 years because of the numbers and how sales data is reported. That's still some insane stuff. So let's go back to the tweet and let's break these numbers down, because if you don't know where the Pokemon Company is getting most of its money from, the answer might surprise you, and it's merchandise. Now, growing up as a 90s kid, being there for the boom of Pokemon launching makes a lot of sense. Merchandise has always been what Pokemon is about. It's about delivering swag to the kids and then showing it off. So 67 billion in merchandise. Then we get to video games. 20 billion on that front, and people are going to say, well, it's all Pokemon Go. Actually, only a third of it is Pokemon Go. And now we're just kind of getting to the point where it's like, well, Pokemon Go is almost 5 years old now, so almost a fifth of the Pokemon Company's just existence, and then accounting for a third of the earnings for the video games or something. It's kind of crazy. Also, Pokemon Go had a record year for earnings in 2020. Now, COVID played a huge part in that, but it still doesn't change the numbers that we see right here. Then we get into the Pokemon cards. 12 billion in Pokemon cards. So if you think about it like this, if Pokemon Go never existed, the video games and the cards would kind of be in the same range of each other. Box office, magazine, anime, manga. After that, it starts to drop off pretty significantly, but it's still like decent numbers to think about. Box office is a little more than 1% of the Pokemon Company's earnings, so still significant. Now, if we go back to this article, we can see where some of that 25 billion is hiding because it just wasn't reported right here. As you can see, it's estimated. We still have like a 7.396 billion plus. So it looks like 10 billion was missing from this Wikipedia article because of the holes in just overall sales reporting. But it looks like for the 25th anniversary, the Pokemon Company is going to come out and say, hey, guess what? We made 100 billion for the 25th anniversary. Look at that. It's almost poetic in its own kind of way. So we can see where that money went. Also, TCG not being reported. Even then, last couple of years have still been billions for the Pokemon Company. We can just kind of take a look at how those years have been. Pokemon Sword and Shield, 19 million units sold. This does not include holiday sales, so we might have pushed Pokemon Sword and Shield to 20 million at $60 each, so that's over $1 billion right there. We don't really have an idea of how many DLC have been sold, so maybe that's going to be a number that comes out for the 25th anniversary. If not, still going to be a couple of 100 million extra. So let's just say 3 million people out of the 20 million people got the DLC at 30 bucks. That's close. That pushes the numbers up quite a bit, so that's something to keep an eye on. And then we just have the Pokemon Company website and these numbers that we've been seeing for years. And even though the website doesn't have the direct revenue anymore like the Wikipedia says, we can still see some very impressive numbers. 368 million units of Pokemon games have been sold. That's crazy. But my favorite number is whenever we see the Pokemon card number, 30 billion cards have been printed. The TCG has gone crazy in the last couple of years, and I think it's a lot more accessible than the video games with Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, you go down to the store, you get a starter deck, you relive your childhood, head down to the card shop, and you just start playing Pokemon again. Also, Pokemon TCG Online, a lot more accessible than the competitive for the Pokemon video games. So we're going to see how that develops. Because wasn't this number like 11, 12, or like, you know, in the low tens and teens billion back in 2016 when I first started covering these numbers? So just in the last 5 years, we've seen a doubling of the TCG compared to the 25 years that Pokemon has been around. Also, on the website, you can click on the individual sections and get some extra details. The trading card game has some really cool stuff behind it, because remember when we were following the sales of like Pokemon Sun and Moon being the fastest selling 3DS game and crazy stuff like that? Well, the TCG has been doing that on its own. So we have the V starter deck. As a result, a whopping 500,000 units for the V starter deck sold in just the first 10 days, a new record for Pokemon TCG decks. So even very recently, Pokemon TCG has been setting records. It has been growing. So that's most of what this video is about. I wanted to celebrate Pokemon's earnings as we go into Pokemon 2021, the 25th anniversary, this massive future of Pokemon that's only going to get crazier instead of using this against the Pokemon Company. Because one thing that you can see right here that's incredibly dishonest is when people say, Pokemon's largest franchise in the world, why can't they do better than Pokemon Sword and Shield? Well, most of the money is from merchandise and non-video game related things, so you can't expect Game Freak to be like, hey, our little critters have made $67 billion in merchandise revenue, give me all that so we can make a better game. No, it doesn't work that way. Also, a lot of the video game stuff, that's Pokemon Go. But at the same time, it's not a large enough chunk to blame Pokemon Go for anything, because that's what people were doing for a while. They saw Pokemon Let's Go and they're like, it's the end of Pokemon, because now they only care about Pokemon Go making all their money. But as you can see from these numbers, that is also not true. And then the overall sales of Pokemon Sword and Shield, compared to even Pokemon Let's Go, but also just Pokemon Sword and Shield in general, compared to Pokemon Go, compared to the other things, no, the Pokemon Company isn't shifting all of their work into mobile games because there's more revenue there. Pokemon Masters showed us that isn't the case. Pokemon Go was just the Pokemon game that every kid wanted growing up, and then it took over the world because of that. Also, it's made by Niantic, so it's not like that's siphoning anything from Game Freak either. And the biggest thing to note is this is revenue. It is not profit. The Pokemon Company does not have $1 billion of cash in their hands. They are not putting $5 billion into their pocket every year. You have to think a company that has been running for 25 years with all of the operating costs, all of the thousands and thousands and thousands of employees all across the world, localization costs, everything else, production costs. I'd be surprised if like the anime has turned a significant amount of profit. Same thing for the box office as well, because, you know, after the first couple Pokemon movies, it just seems like the Pokemon movies are more of a symbolic thing, that they just get put out every year, but they're not made to, like, drive anything massive for the Pokemon Company. Now, I could be wrong about that exact sentiment, but it's still a fact that the anime, movie, manga side of the Pokemon Company generates the least revenue and the least profit out of everything. And then merchandise, you know, it still costs money to make the merchandise. It still costs money to print and ship the cards. And then just because you pay $5 for a pack of Pokemon cards at Walmart doesn't mean that the Pokemon Company is getting 5 of those dollars. Again, there's operating costs, and then there's going to be markup on the retail end, all of that stuff. So anyone that tries to use these numbers to say something like, well, Pokemon Sword and Shield doesn't look like a $100 billion game. Game Freak is just taking us for suckers. They only care about money and nothing else, and they're just making crap quality content because they're lazy. They're just an idiot. They can't be saved. We've already known they are idiots because of the Bring Back National Dex crowd. None of them have an IQ above room temperature, and anyone that believes Distant Kingdom is mentally impaired. But unfortunately, you can't do anything about that. However, we can still kind of look at how cool our favorite franchise is and how well they're doing. Like I said, it only means great things for the future. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.